Hey guys, I misplaced 6 foot of stupid. You help me find it?
Police are out today writing tickets in the municipal parking lot here.
That's it. Come on, boy. Yep. Yeah, now. Yep.
And I just have a quick question for this.
I tell you what, your spirit of accountability is faker than Barbie.
This officer who's running to his car.
Definitely walking, not running.
Because someone just yelled to him that I was here in the parking lot.
So you think you are honestly under the impression that the officer is running from you?
Yep. So we're going to see what that's all about.
Oh, I can help you with that. He saw a jackwagon. He let the cop know, hey, there's a jackwagon back here. What's wrong with that? You don't serve any purpose. You're literally going to try to bother people who are actually working or on their personal time because you want to attempt to make a living from harassing people.
You got a second?
Part about no, don't you understand? You're a little child. No, I want to talk to you. You gotta talk to me. I support him driving away from you. You're not someone he should have to stop for. All you're gonna do is harass him. I'd pull right away. I wouldn't even give you the time of day. I'd pull right on away.
What are you, a coward? You don't have 2 seconds, bro?
Buddy, I'd take a long look in the mirror, and I'd seriously think about who you're calling a coward. You know, the man is out there serving the public. What are you doing? Harassing the public. Coward. Yeah, we all see the yellow one.
I gotta ask you a question. We're on you, bro. We're watching you.
Nobody cares who you're watching. Go watch whatever you want. It's all you got time to do anyhow is watch. It's all any of you do is watch. You stand around and watch. Stand around and record. Stand around and call each other. Hey, did you see the footage I got? Did you see the footage I got? I got 3 people to send me dollars. I can afford to pack up Hall Malls now.
So I was just walking down the sidewalk with my wife.
Honey, I love you so much. No, I don't want you to stay at home with the kids. I want you to come out and get arrested with me. I want you to obtain a no-flight mark on your record. I want you to be known by law enforcement. I want to ruin your reputation completely, that's all. Come with me. There is YouTube dollars. Oh, how I wish that these cats could just be demonetized. And it would give our law enforcement such a break. Isn't this the same guy that got his son into it? Now he's got his wife into it? People are so misled. Jeez, they'll follow anything these days.
And there's a guy that owns an art gallery here in the...
And the guy that owns the art gallery was nice enough to let the cop know that this guy was there.
For the heads up, got in his car, walked across the parking lot, got in his car and left.
You can tell when this guy's lying, his lips are moving. I cut out the part where he was crying about how the guy gave away to the cop that he was there. Nobody cares. I wish more people would.
So I guess I interrupted his ticket writing session here for the time being.
Once again, hate to keep correcting you, but you mean you interfering with a man doing his job. And the reason he's leaving is because he doesn't want to have that nonsensical interaction with you that goes absolutely nowhere but a circular conversation. Who wants to put up with that? I wouldn't stay and talk to you either. For what? You don't deserve it.
At a cafe down the street.
Everybody bear witness to the sad little man baby throw his temper tantrum because a civilian or a citizen tipped the officer off to his presence. Ooh, you're such a big grown-up, you. Look at you, what happened? You get so aged, people start reverting back to childhood? Grow up, man. How old are you? Don't you say later on you're like 49 years old? You sure don't act like it.
My name is Dickhead. I'm out in the parking lot. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just wondering where you got that new name for me from.
So now the man baby's gonna call him and harass him for tipping him off to the cop. What a pathetic, small, little individual. I can't believe anybody is with a man like that. How small-minded do you have to be to resort back to 5th grade?
Give you a holler and ask you what your story is. You want to give me an interview on camera, or you?
Hey, buddy. This doesn't make you look good. It doesn't make you look cool. It makes you look immature and foolish. I would call you a fool, but I'd risk myself with the fires of hell. I choose not to do that. But sir, I don't know what happened to you in your life to take this route, but I have to believe that you were a much more respected individual before whatever happened to you that caused you to make these foolish decisions.
You only talk when I'm not here. I don't care who you are.
Believe me, Bubba, the feeling is mutual. We don't care who you are. You're just a nuisance. That's all. You're a problem that eventually will get taken care of because the people aren't going to put up with it much longer. Eventually they're going to pass laws that put you guys in check. Or you guys are going to end up in a sad situation like the old potato man. So
I'm not gonna do it.
You're not going to do what?
Put up with your crap.
You're not going to put up with my crap, but I'm supposed to put up with you.
You're calling me, harassing me. You want me to let one of those guys? I'm gonna lock you up right now.
You left your cell phone number on the door.
for customers, not an open invitation for jack wagons to bother me. That's harassment.
Or your business.
You're calling me harassing me. I'll have you locked up right now, buddy.
Go ahead.
Outside the restaurant.
Knock yourself out. I'll be right down there. All right, so Mr. Wallace says he's going to walk outside the restaurant now. He's going to call the police department up and have me arrested for harassing him. Hopefully you guys caught the end of that. So we'll walk down there and see what's happening. Want to be 18 again? I wouldn't go back to being 18 again.
I'm here.
I'm actually in the middle.
I want to file a charge against him.
I'm actually in the middle of a conversation.
No, I'm going to file a charge.
I'm gonna let the interaction play so you guys can see what was said, but honestly, I don't like this guy at all. I don't like him. So, I may not have too much more to say.
Just for harassment. He called me on my phone.
Young lady, it's been wonderful speaking to you.
And
Enjoy your
don't
day.
tape anything.
Thank you so much.
Call me
Oh, I
on my
will
phone.
absolutely be taping.
Threaten me.
I'm taping right now.
Good. I want to file a charge against you for harassment. You're a nuisance in the village of East Hampton.
Please keep your finger out of my face.
Please arrest him, officer.
Okay, we'll get a signed complaint.
Yep.
You understand what he's willing to sign a formal complaint stating that you harassed him.
Okay, well,
Waiting outside the restaurant, calling on the phone.
I was actually having a conversation with this nice young
Here's
lady.
a cell phone record. This guy called me. I can very easily prove it. He called me on my cell phone.
Is calling someone against the law?
When you threaten him and harass
I threatened
him,
you. I
harass
recorded the
me?
phone. I recorded the phone call, so be careful.
Okay, well, You harass me. You call me up. What are you doing?
How did I harass you, if you don't mind me asking?
Just by calling me.
No, what? Actually, no. I'm walking down the street with my wife. Okay, down the sidewalk.
Listen, this guy is. I want him locked up, and that's it. Okay, arrest him.
All right, yeah.
Okay, he's been looking for trouble, and he's going to get it.
If it only worked that way, Mr. Wallace, you'd be, you'd be king. But that's not the way the world works.
But I'm not looking to be harassed.
Can I speak to you privately for a moment so I can give you my side of the story?
He's saying his side of the story here. You say your side of the story.
Okay, that's fine. If he'll let me speak, because he keeps cutting me off. Can I speak now? Is that okay?
Sure.
So this is my wife. I'm walking down the sidewalk with my wife. One of your officers was writing parking tickets. Okay. So we're walking down the sidewalk. I was planning on going around here to Main Street and just taking a walk.
Got him! Oh!
Enjoying the weather with my wife.
How can you possibly trust anything these guys say when they're just willing to lie? They have no honor at all. At all. They'll just whatever to conform to the story that they're trying to convey.
Wife, okay? Mr. Wallace comes out of his gallery, yells over to the officer whose name I can't remember, but I will. Here. Points at me, right? So the officer says, oh yeah, right?
This guy, all because someone called him a name. Why don't you run home and get some powder on your bum? Street light's about to come on. Ain't you supposed to be up on the porch with the puppies? Someone called you a name. What kind of man are you? Someone called you a name. I get called names 30 times a day. Someone called you a name. He keeps repeating the spot of the video where dude calls him a name to the officer. He can't get over it. This guy is trapped in 4th grade in his mind. Wow. Wow.
And I wasn't coming out of my.
No, it's not
gallery.
ridiculous.
I did say something. Where was I?
Did say it. I saw you.
Okay, but where was
The cameras, the witness that doesn't lie saw you. Okay,
I'm a private citizen. I'm not one of these.
Oh,
guys.
you can say anything you want, but I can't? How does that work?
There's a difference between.
Now you're trying to change the subject. The subject is not can you say what you want. The subject is your butt hurt because he called you a name to the officer. You then went to his place of business located on the other end of the parking lot, got his name, called him on the phone and started harassing him. Now you're outside of the place of business that he was eating at, talking trash, harassing him. It's not about what you can say. We don't care what you say. Nobody cares what you say. Nobody cares about you at all. Because outside of your family, as far as us and your subscribers, we don't care, man. You're not doing any public service anywhere. You ain't doing anything that's needed. Yes, I said ain't. You ain't. I don't care.
Anyway, can I continue explaining my side of the story to you? This is why I'm asking to be in private, because I'm not going to be able to get a sentence out completely.
Continue.
The officer says, oh, I see that. They wave to each other. The officer goes and gets in his car and leaves. Okay? So I walk down.
So why do you assume that that's you, though?
Because
he pointed right at me.
I never.
What do you mean? I'm 50 years old. I know when somebody's pointing at me and talking about me.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That's subjective.
And
so
maybe there ain't fit.
Let me know when I can finish.
Go ahead.
You done? For a moment?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what I did was I turned around and I walked back down towards Terry's gallery because I didn't see where he went. I was just going to ask him why he's got a sign on the door that says I'm at John Pappas Cafe, here's my cell phone number. So since he's not there and I did not want to come to John Pappas Cafe and create any kind of a disturbance.
Right, so like I didn't want to come to the place where I'm at right now, but I did.
I called his cell phone number, which is publicly posted on his door.
Are you an art buyer? You don't look like it.
I'm not an art buyer at all. No, I'm an art creator.
Yeah.
So what I did was I called him up and I said, hey, Terry, how are you? I'm just yelling at me on the phone, which is also recorded. started yelling at me on the phone. Listen, I'm an ex-Marine.
And I'm not going to tolerate your
I'm not
crap.
going to tolerate your crap.
That's the
I'm going to
truth.
have
I'll
you
have you
arrested. Locked up for what? What's the
For
crime?
harassment.
What's the crime?
Harassment.
He says it's harassment.
He says it's
going to be a
Waiting
civil. Listen
outside
to
the
me.
restaurant, calling me on the phone.
It's going to be
when
a
he's not
civilian complaint.
When he's not a complaint.
making a phone call is
It's his
harassment.
call.
Yeah.
It's his word against yours.
Okay,
It's a
no,
civilian
it's his
arrest.
word against the camera.
That's fine. But that, you know, if this is the way that it's going to go, and he wants you arrested for harassment,
I want
you
your
can-
what's your name and badge number?
Officer Kachanaz, shield number 72.
Okay, before you say another word, I want your supervisor here. End of story. Get a sergeant here.
No problem.
Okay? And you better watch yourself because you're dealing with qualified immunity.
412 headquarters 727.
Let's stick to the law. You just walked up with a little attitude.
You're
so.
harassing me. You're outside a
I called you up to ask you a question, sir. A Marine should be able to answer a question.
Yeah, well, a grown man should be able to work a real job and not bother the public, not bother businesses, not tie up law enforcement time, not go into public buildings and harass innocent people making regular wages. I mean,
No.
Sure I
Listen,
can. You posted your phone number on the door of your business.
on over here,
Free
please.
country.
You posted your phone number on the door of a business that said call.
I'm going to tell you something right now. What you're doing is okay, as long as you have someone's consent. But you can't pull up here and start
You're
to
the
wait
one
for
that started
people.
What do you mean I
You're
can't
the
pull
one
up
that
here?
started it.
someone should tell his old lady to stay out of it. I mean, come on. Why is a woman arguing for a man? I mean, it'd be a cold day before my old lady step up and start fighting for me. You know what I'm saying? 2, she's wrong. That guy wasn't even talking to y'all. He was talking to the cop about y'all. Hence, none of your business. Not your conversation. Y'all not involved. You're just two small-minded little children trying to chase some drama. That's all this is. Both of y'all. Immature. Grow up.
This is the officer he was speaking to. I'm sure you'll deny it, but when I was walking down the sidewalk with my wife,
Jason, you
okay,
didn't let me finish. You asked my name and shield number.
you gave me your name and shield number. I told you I don't want to hear another word out of you until your supervisor gets here. Are you a supervisor?
What does that have to do with what I'm talking to you about? The supervisor.
Because you're not handling this situation appropriately, and that's my opinion. So we're going to get your supervisor here. We're going to get it straight up.
Does it
Listen,
have anything better to do with your life?
what I do with my life is
No, sir, he does not. This is literally all he has. This is what they do. They found out they can make a couple dollars from harassing people and getting reactions for YouTube. And that's what they've decided to do. That's literally their life. So when their friends ask, "What do you do for a living?" they say, "I'm an auditor. I bother people in public." Or, "I bother law enforcement and I shove my camera in random people's faces and ask them annoying questions." Really? How's the retirement on benefits on that, Rob? I mean, come on, man. Come on. No honor. No honor. They're not going to respect themselves. How we expect them to respect anything else? That's the truth of it.
life is not your
Don't you have
opinion.
anything better to do?
What I do with my life is
asking.
not up to you.
You know?
And you could have, and you want to know something, Terry? I've known you for a long time. We have mutual friends.
I've never met you
Luciano.
in my life.
Luciano's a mutual friend. Luciano's introduced us many times over the past
never
35
met you
years.
in my life.
Okay. And all you had to do, if you had an interest in what I was doing, was ask me. And I would have happily explained myself to you. That's all you had to do. You didn't need to yell
Wait
dickhead
outside.
across the parking
Wait
lot.
outside the
No,
restaurant.
you said to me on the phone, "I'll be right outside the restaurant. I'm calling the police."
never said
So
that.
I'll, yes, you did.
I said I will. Yes. I
Yes,
said I will
you
come
did. You said,
outside.
"I will be outside and I will call the police, and I will not run
It's
from
not
the
an
police
argument.
since you're going to call the police. I came down here to
Listen,
wait for them so they wouldn't have to
Let
look
me
for
put it
me."
to you.
That's
You
all it
wanna
is.
harass these guys, that's one thing. because they have.
I don't feel like I'm harassing
You're not
anybody.
gonna harass me.
I'm not, I was not making a phone call to you was not a harassment. When you posted your cell
Waiting
number
outside
in
the
public.
restaurant is harassment.
You told me you were going to come outside and call the police.
Exactly.
Sure you did.
I said I did call the police, and I said
When somebody tells me they called the police on me, I'm going to stand here and wait. I'm not going to disappear. What do you want me to do? Run away from the cops? I have nothing to run away for. I'm 49 years old, never been arrested in my life.
Well, today be your first day.
Well, that's up to you. And make sure you're doing the right thing. Because you posted your cell phone number in a public place and said call for assistance. I needed your help in solving in answering a question. I called you, and all you yes it
It doesn't
does.
say call for assistance.
It says I'm at John Pappas Cafe. Here's my cell phone
Doesn't
number.
say
So
call
I
for
called.
assistance.
That's it.
If I were you, Mr. Gutterman, I'd find a different line of work.
You're not me.
Stop harassing.
You're not
these
me.
cops.
You're not me.
Okay. You know, I don't
You're
know
not
what
me.
your problem is with these
My
guys.
father died 23 years ago. I'm not going to listen to what you tell me what to do.
I'm not trying to be your father.
You're giving me advice, telling me what I should be doing with my life. I mean, come on.
Advice.
You know
Good
what?
Free advice.
Do we have a supervisor on the way?
Already called him.
Okay, good. Thank
I'm
you.
giving you good free.
And can I
advice.
get your name and badge number, sir, please?
Really?
Yes. I'm asking you if
Officer
you.
Brabant. Shield 60.
Thank you very much. Wasn't so hard, was it? I'm just asking. And since you're here, can I get your name and badge number, please?
Officer Smith, badge number 78.
Thank you, Officer Smith. I've never been anything but cordial with you guys, and you know that. You can't name one time in the 35 years that you've known me that I've ever been disrespectful to you.
I have not covered that.
Sure you have.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you don't remember.
That's funny because by the way I was raised, you've been disrespectful to everybody since this video started.
You've known me for a very long time. Yeah.
You did a small statement.
We met
That's
when I was
the
18 years old.
last time I-
Well, so that was 32 years ago. I'm off by a few years. And Officer Smith here will tell you, I think in our interactions, I've been very respectful to you. We've been very cordial to each other. There's no issues. Mr. Wallace,
I'm cutting sections out. This guy just cries and cries and cries, man. Just, no, me too. It's not right. He's the one who started the whole dang on thing, man. It's a child, a grown-up man baby.
Hand me up for something, but I mean, let's get something real, guys. Wait till I cross the line. Let's just not make things up, you know?
Jason, we're here answering a legitimate.
All right, but you have discretion to decide whether or not that complaint is legitimate or not. Okay.
Oh, I just decided it's legitimate as all get out.
Okay,
And
so that's
why
your call.
I tried to explain to you that it's called a civilian arrest.
You can be
He says
arrested
you
for
harassed
calling. So, what is the definition of harassment? How did I harass him?
Typical criminal. Now it's time to pay the piper and you want to cry like a little child. No, not me. Shut up and take your medicine.
State the statute.
I'm not
How
getting-
did I?
I'm not
What are
getting
you
into
talking
the
about?
New York State penal law.
You're going to arrest somebody. Yes, you are. You're going to get very
Like I
into
told
New
you,
York State penal law.
you're
You're going to get
missing
into
the point.
qualified immunity and a
Jason,
lot of
you're
things.
missing the point.
No,
And
I'm not
here's
missing
why.
the point.
I told you it's a
But you are missing the point because you're not in charge. You don't know as much as you think you do. You just harassed that man. And then you stalked him to where he was eating. Nothing on that piece of paper said to go there.
civilian arrest.
Defensive. He's trying to.
No, let me explain because nobody. No,
See,
no,
now
no.
you're getting defensive.
No, I'm not.
There you go, missing the point again. We don't care what your side of the story is. We don't care what you have to say. None of that matters. You want to give everybody a hard time. You want to give law enforcement a hard time. You want to give people working in public buildings a hard time. Now you're giving citizens and business owners a hard time. Nobody cares about your side of the story. Just go to jail.
Not get, well, you listen. You're threatening me with arrest. Of course, I'm going to get defensive.
I'm not.
Okay,
You with an arrest.
Mr. Wallace. Mr. Wallace has his phone number handwritten on the door of his business that says, "I am at John Pappas. Call my cell with the phone number." That.
It said his phone number and where he was. Where did you get out of that come to where he's at? Out of that note, where did you get call me on the phone and harass me while I'm eating my food?
That's what I did. Okay? So if you want to consider that harassment, and when I called him, I said, "Mr. Wallace, this is Jason Arrested, blah, blah, blah,
My
blah.
licensing for them taking my picture and sitting in the thing.
Come on, God.
Talk to the photographer about it.
So that's just ridiculous. And you know what? I hope you arrest me. I really do. I really do.
If you would let me finish, Jason.
I'd be happy to let you finish. But don't blame me for being upset.
Civilian arrest. I'm not saying you have any right to.
Let's be honest. This guy talks more than my wife.
To be upset or not upset. Honestly, that doesn't matter to me. We have a complaint that we're following up on. The complaint came from Mr. Wallace.
Okay.
Mr. Wallace, if
he's got legal grounds.
it doesn't matter about legal
Oh,
grounds.
oh,
He's
so
saying
I could
arrest
just
him,
so I
he's
could
going to fill out a report.
I can just make up
And
anything
if
I want
he
against.
wants you charged, it's a civilian arrest.
Sergeant Bennett, can I speak with you for a minute, please?
Yeah, you turn that camera off and I'll speak with you all you want.
If I turn the camera off, why would I turn the camera off?
What do you want to talk to me about?
You want me to turn my camera off? What do I want you to talk? You got Mr. Wallace's side of the story. You're not interested in here. I'm the one that asked for a supervisor. You need me to turn my camera off?
Then I'll talk to you.
Why? We're standing on a public sidewalk and I'm being threatened with arrest. And for my safety, I'd like to talk to you in private right here 10 feet away, just like Mr. Wallace did. Thank you. Enjoy your lunch, sir. All right, so now listen,
First thing he says to one guy, have a nice lunch, spins to the cop. Now, just to de-escalate this, man, shut your mouth, dude. Who do you think you are? You're a 2-bit con-man that abandoned all real responsibility and dove into this at the first notion that it would pay you some money. As soon as this falls out, I hope you didn't burn all your bridges back over there because you're going to need them eventually. Manipulation. I'm on to you, man. You ain't fooling nobody. I was raised with hustlers. I learned from the best. I hope this officer doesn't fall for this. This guy's got a glass forehead. I see directly all the way through him. Corny at that. He's not even good at it.
just to de-escalate this, okay, what I'm trying to do is I want to explain to you what just happened from my point of view. Okay, I have a witness. This camera was running the whole time, and I want him to be very careful about what he's about to sign his name to. Okay, I got out of the car with my wife. I parked. Okay, I'm walking down this public sidewalk that you can see right here with my wife. Okay, Mr. Wallace comes out of his business, walks down the sidewalk with Officer Smith.
See how that cop sitting there with his arms folded and just listening to you? That's how I do my wife. You know, but I'm forced to just take it all in. And
she breaks off from him and starts walking into the parking lot. He sees Officer Brabant riding. Officer Brabant looks at him, goes like that, walks away, gets in his car and leaves. Okay?
Okay.
So I went down to Terry's. I didn't see where he went. Okay, I didn't know if he went down one of these alleys, walked back. So I went over to his gallery. Right? I was going to knock on the door and just ask him what the point of that is. I didn't get that. He doesn't remember, but he's known me for a very long time. So the door's locked, and there's a sign handwritten by Mr. Wallace, I would assume, on the window. We can go look at it right now. That says, "I'm at John Pappas. Here's my cell phone number. Call me." To the general public. If you need me, here's where I am, call me. So I dialed his cell phone number. Okay, and again, this is all recorded. Okay, I put it on speaker and recorded the whole conversation.
Mr. Recorder.
You have to be.
Oh, of course.
You have to be. And don't be upset with me for what I do. We're talking about this situation right now here today. We're not.
yeah, don't be upset with me for what I do, how I put you guys on blast and shove cameras in your face and call you names and always get in your business and try to prevent you from doing your job and ask you 20 questions while you're trying to do it. You know, this is about this right now. Right now, this is about me and what I've got going on. It's not about you, officer.
We're not talking about anything else.
I'm not upset at all.
No, and I appreciate that. And I know you're a very, what I know of you, you're a very...
You know me?
He said, no, I'm not upset. I'm dealing with a joke. Wait a minute. You know me? You know everybody, don't you? Now he's starting to understand. Oh, so this guy's...
well-respected gentleman in this town. Yeah, I see you scoop du jour all the time, getting coffee and donuts, whatever you have there.
You're everywhere.
So, well, you know, you guys are everywhere too. And you know, actually, I mean, if you were going to get off on that conversation, which we won't go too far into it, but you swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States. That's my only interest,
Listen,
okay? So here's the bottom line. So Mr. Wallace, when I'm on the phone with him, I said, Terry, Mr. Wallace, okay? I'm an ex-Marine, and you're not going to treat me like this. You're harassing me. Why are you calling my cell phone? I said, you wrote your cell phone number on the window of your business out to the general public to call you if they needed you. I needed you.
on,
So that's why I'm calling. That's the chase. So then he says to me, I'm going to call the police. I'm walking outside the restaurant now, and the police are going to come arrest you. So rather than have you drive around and look for me, I walked myself down to the sidewalk, stood on a public sidewalk, and waited for you to get here.
Okay.
And that's where we are.
Okay.
So if you consider a phone call to Mr. Wallace harassment, that's up to you.
Listen.
I would just be very careful because it's all...
Are you done now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Have a nice day. He's not filing charges, not doing anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
You're free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
You have a wonderful day.
Just like all of you, I wish there was a different ending. Especially to this case, when he deliberately bothered the guy. I gotta make another drink before I do the next one. I'm gonna try to rip out a couple of these videos tonight. I had punchlines and I was gonna land jokes, but the one I just made before this kind of put me in a different mood, and then I started off good with this one, and then this guy's attitude, man, he's just a man baby. I don't know.
Oh.